Good afternoon to everybody here. This is a great special occasion. We have our Queen, Miss South Africa, AUP alumni. To you, Shudi, firstly, welcome back home to your first alma mater. We understand you are studying somewhere else now, but the original place you got your degree is here. So we're so proud also that you took the Bachelor of Science in PPE. Do you know that most British Prime Ministers have a PPE degree from Oxford? So if you think Miss South Africa is the last thing you're going to get, no. I'm probably going to be at your inauguration as the president.
I receive.
No,
I didn't know that about the prime ministers.
yeah, no, just go and Google it. Which university and what degree did most British prime ministers take? PPE at Oxford.
Oh, wow.
So your next route is president. Oh. Now, thinking back at having been at UP, what do you think contributed from your studying, being at UP, to your successes and your trajectory going forward?
I think doing like a multidisciplinary degree such as PPE was a very challenging one, but I think it taught me the value of hard work. So even when I was studying now and doing the Miss South Africa competition, the pressure for me was not as bad because UP has an amazing work ethic, instills an amazing work ethic in all of us, where you are accountable for yourself. You have all the resources that you need, but you also have to use them to the best of your ability. And it taught me, and doing a PPE taught me so many things about the world in general. I mean, now I get to sit with the president, for example, and have conversations with him. But I don't think if I had not studied what I did, I would be well equipped enough to actually hold a conversation with someone of that caliber.
So PPE at UP is what you would recommend?
Yes, I would recommend a PPE degree. I really would. It's hard, but yeah, it's very much worth it.
Thank you very much. You have said that mental health issues and education, as well as gender-based violence, GBV, and femicide are going to be your focus issues. Why those particular areas, and why should everybody sit up and pay attention and make a contribution?
So my biggest focus is mental health. Obviously, when there's GBV and femicide involved, mental health does play a big role in the ripple effects that it causes, with the ripple effects that are caused by gender-based violence and femicide. So my biggest goal is to destigmatize mental health and inform how we as a society view mental health, because it's quite important in dealing with or solving or finding solutions rather to most of the social ills that we face. So for example, a woman that has been who has been a victim of abuse, for example, you find that there's ripple effects such as depression, anxiety, PTSD, and suicide ideation. Those are mental health illnesses. So it does connect and correlate together. But in terms of mental health in its entirety, I just believe that we need to focus on it in order to fix our society, mostly with compassion and kindness, especially now after COVID-19, where people have lost jobs, livelihoods, loved ones. It's time for us to engage in those conversations, tell people that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to seek help. It's okay to feel like you're not alone. It's okay to want to speak. It's okay to suffer from mental health illnesses, because there's always help that is out there, but we just need to destigmatize it as a society first.
Okay, so someone might say to you, look, Shudu, what's happened is that the more we say we're going to do something about it, especially GBV and femicide, the more it seems to escalate into a pandemic. So what's going to be your distinctive contribution to changing the situation?
Well, gender-based violence, I think it is a pandemic on its own. And the numbers don't go down, they actually just increase. And that's because I believe the problem is the fact that there's no accountability at all. This needs to start at the root, and that is with men, by bringing everyone to the table, giving everyone a seat at the table, and that's how I believe mental health should be as well. We find that, for example, gender-based violence, it's posited as a woman's problem, where we spend time and resources educating women on how to not become victims instead of educating men on consent and accountability. We spend time positing it as a woman's problem. But with mental health, what I'm trying to do, or what I'm trying to build is a seat, as a table where everyone, including children, can come and sit down and we can engage in this conversation where we use it to rehabilitate our society and not to shame people. So I think that's what makes it different, the fact that everyone will get a seat at the table.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So do you think there are any mental health issues that go with being so much in the spotlight for being Miss South Africa?
I'm not a psychologist.
Yeah.
I'm not a psychologist, but it is a lot of work. It is a lot of, everyone is looking at you. Whatever you say, there's a huge responsibility that comes with it. To some extent, your life is not your own anymore because you're an ambassador of the country. So it is something that could get overwhelming, but I think with the right support system and the right support structure, you'll find that it's manageable. But again, also having those days where I go like, okay, today I don't feel okay, and it's okay to not feel okay. It's just about being honest with oneself, I think. But yeah, I'm not sure what mental illnesses may go with this, but yeah, it is a very big job. It's a very, very big job.
No, and I think you're doing it well so far.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So talking about all of these issues, if you like, one thing you have publicly said, and I think admirable so, is that you were bullied. And you survived it and thrived, if you like. So what would you advise people who are in the same circumstances that you were in, how they survive that, and not just be survivors, but also thrive in their lives?
I think it's just about making the decision to be selfish. So you find that sometimes when you're being bullied, even when the bullying stops, you take over from the people that bully you. You find that you put other people first before yourself, because that's how it's always been in order to fit in. I think once you make the decision that you're putting yourself first, that you make the decision that you're going to practice self-love, instead of like bringing yourself down every single time, you look in the mirror and then bring yourself up every single time. And also just know what you want. I think irrespective of the fact that I was bullied, I always knew that I had to be something in life. I had to be successful, irrespective of my situation. So I had to overcome it, like irregardless. So to the people that are suffering from bullying, one thing that I'll tell you before anything else is that it's not personal. When people bully you, it's a reflection of them, not a reflection of you. Once you realize that it's a reflection of them, then things start changing. Because, for example, one day I could be really, really nice to you because I'm in a good mood. The next day I'm in a bad mood and I could be really mean to you. That should never be a reflection of you. So once you realize that the only person whose opinion matters of you is yourself. And that changes everything, because what you confess with your tongue will become a reality. So if you say you're going to become a PPE graduate, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Just say it, just believe it, and work hard for it. Yeah.
So have you heard from any of your former bullies now that you are successful in Miss South Africa?
Actually, even before Miss South Africa, most of them did apologize. So even before Miss South Africa, this was last year, one of them sent me a message apologizing, but she's not the only one. But yeah, they did apologize, and I forgave them. I think I forgive before people even apologize, because that's the only way I'll find peace with myself. So I forgive before people apologize. So when she apologized, it was just like, oh, that's beautiful. But yeah, I'd already forgiven them a long time ago.
Yeah. You should ask them to join the campaign against bullying.
Woo, okay. It's funny how most people don't realize that they were bullies. Only once you point out the situation, or when this and this happened, and then they realize that they were like a catalyst of it, then they start saying, oh, I didn't realize that I did that. So when it comes to bullying, most people don't realize that they were bullies. So sometimes with some, you find that for them, they didn't see anything wrong with what they did. But because you're saying it's wrong, then they're saying, okay, I'm sorry. So it becomes, it's also a very tricky conversation. I think it's about people's willingness. So you realize that you did something wrong. Let's work together. But it's one of those things, there has to be willingness from both parties, Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So we come to the end of the interview, but I think you should also ask me perhaps one question. But I'd also like you to just close by saying to people, what does the year look like for you as Miss South Africa going forward?
The year is absolutely busy. It's very, very busy. It's about making sure that we put our vision to turn our vision into a reality, because we've got so many plans. And I think my biggest wish for it is for all of them to become a reality, for the conversation about mental health to not only start and end with me, but also become a normal conversation in our society, for people to heal somewhat just through the message that we're trying to spread. But most of it is just turning our vision into reality, making dreams come true, working with organizations around the world, not only in South Africa, to destigmatize mental health. So that is the plan. I can't say too much about it,
Yeah,
but you will see as the year unfolds. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So my one last request to you is that after the year is over, as you take your postgrad, your masters, choose UP.
Choose UP, definitely, definitely. This is home. This is home.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much for your time, Shudu Musida, Miss South Africa 2020. Now let's have lunch.
Yes, please. I
Thank
love
you.
some food.